So you see it all the time. You see people screaming at the top of their lungs saying, "You must be A/B testing, you must do it." Well, in this video today, I'm going to be talking about the great lie of A/B testing for more conversions. All right. So my name is Matt Ackerson. I'm the founder of AutoGrow.co, as you may already know. And in this video, I'm talking about the great lie of A/B testing for more conversions. ... So let me kind of explain what I mean. So I came across a YouTube video talk recently. It was from one of the growth managers over at Mixpanel. They provide analytics for tracking of apps and websites across desktop and mobile. They've been around for about 5, 6, 7 years now. They're doing pretty well. And the growth manager gave a talk called, the five F-ups of growth mistakes that you want to avoid if you're a small business or a startup that's getting off the ground. And one of her top 5 things was you must be A/B testing. You must be A/B testing. And it reminded me of the fact that A/B testing, when you want to get really actually reliable results, you need a certain amount of views or traffic, actually coming through and flowing through your marketing funnel if that's going to happen. So you really and look at the people who are giving this advice too, because everyone and their grandmother is saying this. You must be A/B testing. And I'm kind of skeptical about the ideological belief. It's like an ideological belief in the power of A/B testing because it's statistics. But another thing that it doesn't take into account is the fact that when you have a new design or a new ad format, for example, and this is kind of a documented fact, and it makes sense when you think about it. So for example, Google rolled out a new ad format like several years ago. And I remember reading about it and how they discarded, or they made note of the fact that the click-through rate for this new ad format was like some sort of new design, like imagine it was a square before and now it's like a circle or a rectangle, something new. The click-through rate for it was significantly higher in the beginning. And so they either discarded those results or made a specific note of it, because after a certain amount of time, they're going to settle down to be whatever the average is going to be, right? And this is the thing to beware of with A/B testing as well, because if you are testing a significantly different, version of a pop-up or a landing page, it might just convert better, at least in the beginning, just because of the new format, because it's sort of a new style. But over time, things just might kind of settle down to a lower average that you didn't perhaps anticipate. Okay. So you want to look at, beyond that, considering that, you want to look at who's giving the advice, like an established company like Mixpanel, for example, or other bigger names where people have for example tens of thousands of subscribers on their email list and tens of thousands of visits to their website. And this is part of why I don't necessarily recommend A/B testing in some of my previous videos, because we have a fair amount of traffic where we can do it and we can get results in a reasonable amount of time. But if you have less than 10,000 visits coming to your website per month, or you're testing a key page and that page doesn't have a minimum amount of traffic, I would say again, 2 to 10,000 visits to that site, 2 to 10,000 page views, then it's going to take you a while to see results. I mean, that's the other thing about A/B testing, is that you need to get results within a reasonable amount of time. And further, a lot of the people that champion this idea of A/B testing, if you read many of the case studies out there, they won't even tell you what their confidence interval is. And what that means is, they can say statistically that within a 98% chance that this number is accurate, and that one version will outperform the control version, the original version, right? But many of those people they're testing either not an adequate sample size, meaning they may only be testing to a 90% confidence level or a 95% confidence level, which means that there's a 5% chance that one version will actually not be beating the other. And that's part of why in past blog posts, we have a nice long skyscraper blog post talking about different A/B test case studies, and we only selected the ones that were 98% or better. And that's what you want to be testing to as well, because otherwise, you're just kind of gambling, like, oh, 90% is good enough because I don't have a lot of traffic, so let me just go with that. So anyway, what I recommend is a better way to go. All right, is when you're a young business and or with not a lot of traffic, invest more of your time in looking at and understanding what individual people's and potential customers' objections are, or potential clients are. What are their objections on your sales page? And you can kind of vet this information out by investing in surveys. So you can email them a survey. You can use a chat widget and just listen, just ask questions, especially in the beginning, or especially if you find that a certain page or a step in your sales funnel is a bottleneck. And put some belief, because people don't talk about this, in sequence testing, because with A/B testing, part of why it takes such a long time is you're testing version A versus version B, and one is showing randomly the other 50% for each. But if you do a sequence test, you're just showing version A is your current version, and then boom, you put it version B, so that gets all of the traffic. So then you can start to notice a pattern of success or not, because that is getting more data points instead of just 50% of the data points. Make sense? All right, so that's it for today's video. I'd like to know, leave me a comment. What did you think of this video? How are you going to apply this tip to your business and to your sales funnel? And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Give me some feedback in the comments as well. Share it. If you want to know more about how to set up your own successful sales funnel in record time, just how to do it fast and how to do it right, and how to uncover gaps that are leaking money in your existing sales funnel and in your existing marketing online, I encourage you to check out our top 2 selling products in terms of volume. They are our sales funnel diagram pack and our sales funnel blueprint product. You can access them by going to the products link in the navigation. I believe it's actually over here. All right. And if you want, you can also get on the waiting list for our top tier training program, the 6-figure sales funnel, which we open the doors on once every 3 months. So if you're interested in that, get on the waiting list for it. All right. So until next time, as always, my name is MattHack in the Matt Hat, delivering you your daily dose of MattHacks. Keep hustling, stay focused. I will see you in the next video.